My life was saved when I discovered God's biblical principles to healthy living. Today, I continue my pursuit of extraordinary health by applying cutting-edge science with the practice of ancient biblical truths. I have a mission to see the health of this nation and world transformed one life at a time. And today, that starts with you. I'm Jordan Rubin, and this is Living Beyond Organic. When I was a teenager, I was diagnosed with multiple illnesses. Crohn's disease, inflammatory bowel disease, symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis, chronic fatigue syndrome, parasitic, fungal, bacterial, and viral infections. I was deathly ill. The life I knew was crumbling before my very eyes. I went on to visit 69 medical experts. Conventional medicine failed. Natural treatments failed. And I always left the doctor's office worse than when I came. One day I was reading the Bible and I read a scripture that came out of Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1 that said, "Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence and assurance of things not seen." What could I do to put action to my faith? My step of faith took me to asking my mom to take my picture. I stood there in boxer shorts and nothing else. She said, "Jordan, I don't want to take your picture. It breaks my heart to look at you. Can't we wait till you're well?" And I said, "You have to take this picture now because the world's not going to believe what God's about to do in my life." My step of faith didn't result in a healing the next day, the next week, or even the next month. A year later, I met a man by telephone who told me that if I follow a health plan that comes from the Bible, that's proven through history and confirmed by science, I could be well. The introduction to biblically based whole foods, rich in nutrients and compounds such as probiotics, cultured dairy products, grass-fed beef, raw beverages like juices, changed everything. And in a 40-day period, what I would later refer to as the Maker's Diet, I went from sickness to health, from death to life, and ultimately from mess to messenger. In the midst of my recovery, I made a promise. I'm going to have a hand in raising and growing the world's healthiest foods. That was where the seeds for Beyond Organic were planted. When I ask a large group of people at a seminar, how many of you want to be in good health, eat and live healthfully? Everybody raises their hands. But it can be very confusing out there. We've heard a lot of terminology to describe foods that are good for you. Natural, healthy, and organic. When I was growing up as a child, I ate well, and we referred to that as eating health food. If I talk to somebody today and ask if they're trying to consume a good diet, they say that they eat organic. But I wonder if people really understand the difference. First and foremost, what is at stake when it comes to our food supply today? Well, a study done by the Environmental Working Group found that the average healthy person contains up to 91 environmental toxins within their bloodstream. Some of these chemicals haven't even been used for the last 40 or even 50 years. When it comes to these chemicals, whether they're fertilizers, medications, or any other type of toxic substance, they are non-organic, meaning they're not alive. There's no carbon backbone. They don't break down. They simply stay in our environment and cause us great health challenges. I meet people each and every day with serious diseases, and then I meet those that just have nagging health problems. And I believe that both are related to an overabundance of toxins. In science, it's called total body burden. And the greater the burden you have, the more toxicity in your bloodstream and in your body. And since God's word says the life is in the blood, I think it's time we understood how to truly minimize these toxins from coming into our system. The key to health is to get nutrients in the cells and waste out. And I believe this is largely governed by the foods and beverages we consume every day. The word natural today means very little. When natural is ascribed to produce, to sugar, or even animal foods, All that means is that no chemical preservatives were used. That doesn't mean that an animal was raised or grown properly, or that certain things weren't added in the treatment and in the food supply. Organic has a meaning when describing healthy foods that were free of pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, genetically modified material, and other chemicals. Overcoming my own incurable diseases, I learned that it was critical to consume foods that were not only organic, but went a step beyond, thereby creating the term beyond organic. In fact, I believe that the next great move in modern sustainable food and agriculture is beyond organic. When it comes to bottled water, going to the store, you're going to find two basic categories. On my right is drinking water, and on my left would be enhanced waters. Let's start with drinking waters. You might think water is pretty simple, basically a combination of hydrogen and oxygen. But water is a critical part of your everyday diet and lifestyle. First and foremost, we look at the various kinds of water. We've got purified water, we've got drinking water, we've got distilled water, and we've got spring water. My personal favorite is spring water. Spring water flows from the earth. Artesian water is captured from beneath the earth. Purified water is basically municipal water that has gone through some type of processing, usually reverse osmosis, which removes some of the minerals. And what about enhanced waters? Many people today are trying to get vitamins and minerals, electrolytes, and other compounds from their water. Well, there's a few problems. Number one, the very vitamins that are in these waters are usually synthetic, isolated. That's right, created from such supplies as petrochemicals, activated sewage sludge, byproducts of the film development industry, and even rocks. Yes, the vitamins and minerals you get from these enhanced waters may not be all that nutritious at all. And they're loaded with sugars such as fructose, which can be hard on the liver, and they have cane sugar, which is plain old sugar. Also, various preservatives to keep the product stable. When it comes to drinking water, purity is the key. Number one, you want to make sure that you're not consuming contaminants, chlorine, and fluoride. At a bare minimum, make sure you get a home filtration system or one of those pitcher filters. What would be the best water to consume? I believe the best water to consume is water that has the highest percentage of H2O, but yet is still spring water. Difficult to find, maybe, but when you're at the store shopping for the best bottled water, I recommend you look for a highly pure water, which is represented by a low TDS or total dissolved solids. The range I look for is between 5 and 20. TDS, total dissolved solids, between 5 and 20. Look for the designation spring water on the front because it's created to drink, and you are consuming a water that is highly pure, very healthy, and after all, it's beyond organic. People ask me all the time, Jordan, I can't afford to eat everything organic. Which food should I choose as most important? That answer is easy, because I believe the healthiest foods you can consume, the most nutrient dense, are animal foods. However, when consumed conventionally raised, those are also the least healthy. Why? Because animal foods contain fat, and the fat contained stores toxins if they're raised in a toxic environment, which can be very problematic for you, the consumer, which is why I always tell people, if you're gonna eat some things organic, focus on beef or red meat, poultry, eggs, dairy, and if you're gonna consume fish, make the fish wild. But when it comes to animal foods that aren't raised well, whatever's in there is gonna end up in your body. And I believe when you're gonna eat certain parts of your diet as organic, make it animal foods. When I received a vision to create a Beyond Organic standard, I had to learn a set of principles, standards if you will, that went beyond what was modern industrial organic to provide you with the ultimate standard for healthy foods and beverages according to the ultimate source, the Bible. When looking for the world's healthiest foods and beverages, make sure to use the 10-point Beyond Organic standard as your measure for great food, starting with grain-fed. When it comes to animals, remember, you're not what you eat, you're what they ate. And ruminant animals, cows, goats, or sheep, were meant to eat one thing and one thing only: greens. Green foods give them nourishment. Whether it's meat, eggs, or dairy, grain-fed needs to be the standard, where these animals are consuming grasses, herbs, forbs, and legumes, only what comes out of the ground and only what's healthy for the animals. Number 2, we want them to graze on pesticide, herbicide, and chemical fertilizer-free pastures. God created a way for the grass and forage to grow without the use of these man-made chemicals that stay in the body of the animals and end up in their milk. In addition, we want to make sure that the animals are treated without the use of medicine. An animal that is healthy is meant to live in its environment with minimal input from man. We also want to make sure that we treat our animals well. Happy animals make healthy food, and you can see it reflected in how they live and what foods they produce for us. We also want to make sure that we create sustainable land and soil practices. Did you know that God prescribed a way to farm? He told us in Scripture how we should rest the fields, how we should sustain the fields. And believe it or not, the best fertilizer in the world, the best pest control in the world, are healthy, mixed agricultural species grazing on healthy pasture.
You know about antibiotics, but do you know about probiotics? Probiotics are the healthy germs in your body. Yes, you heard me right. Each one of us has healthy germs right inside our body. Sadly, probiotics are missing from most of the foods we consume in our modern diets, and we're paying the price with poor health, digestion issues, allergies, and even behavioral problems can all be caused by a lack of probiotics in your diet. Are you getting enough probiotics? What are some of the ways you can begin to incorporate probiotic foods into your daily diet and assure your family consumes them as well?
The digestive tract is the key to health. And if anyone asks me, Jordan, what is the best way to overcome digestive disorders? What about simple problems or common problems like gas, bloating, and indigestion? How do I deal with heartburn and other problems? I recommend probiotic-rich foods. When probiotics from foods and beverages enter your digestive tract, they set up residence, creating a protective web and secreting chemicals that crowd out harmful yeasts, molds, fungi, other bacteria, and even viruses, supporting your immune health and all the health your body needs. I recommend consuming probiotics with each and every meal. Try an amasi beverage for breakfast. Have a side of sauerkraut or probiotic salsa with lunch, and a cool probiotic beverage like kvass, kombucha, or apple cider vinegar and honey for dinner. Each and every meal, each and every day, probiotics means for life. When the Israelites were saved in the Exodus, they were given a land flowing with milk and honey. Today in America, milk is very controversial. Some people believe you should be wearing a white mustache, and others believe it is strictly poison. Why is milk, the white liquid from a cow, goat, or sheep, so controversial? I believe that if God describes milk as being part of the promised land, it must be healthy. After all, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, David and Solomon, and even an early prophecy of the Messiah, Isaiah 7:14, said that he would eat curds and honey in order to choose the good and avoid the evil. I believe that healthy dairy could be
God's perfect food. I also believe that dairy produced today in modern agricultural industry could be one of the most harmful substances on the planet. What I do believe is that dairy has been one of the main sources of dietary nutrition for the world's healthiest people, starting in the cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia, the Middle East, and Africa. But I believe the dairy that was consumed by Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Jesus was a lot different than what we get today. People ask me all the time, Jordan, don't you think we should consume low-fat, skim milk? My answer is no. After all, if God wanted milk to be skim or low-fat, wouldn't he have put a cream separator on the udder of the cattle? Whole milk is a whole food, but then it is disassembled. And after all, it starts from cattle that are fed an unhealthy diet, an unnatural diet, and oftentimes are loaded with chemicals like antibiotics and even growth promotants such as bovine growth hormone. These are all meant to produce massive quantities of milk that are unnatural to a cow. In order to meet the growing demand of American dairy products, we have created something that is void of its natural fat-soluble vitamins. Enzymes are gone, probiotics are gone, nutrients are skim, and health is hard to find. In fact, I would not recommend a single person consume conventional, agricultural produced dairy products. One sip of a conventional non-organic dairy product can give you up to 80 antibiotic residues. Why? Because when you buy that carton of milk, it comes from thousands of animals and maybe even hundreds of farms all mixed together. What is the ideal source of dairy? Well, you've got to look back to the Bible to find it. You see, in biblical times, there wasn't refrigeration. There were only two ways to get your dairy. You drink it immediately as it's milked, whole and raw, or you let it sit to ferment and become what the Bible would call curds. Now, these curds could have been cheese, could have been a yogurt-like substance, but undoubtedly it was a cultured dairy product. And I believe cultured dairy is the best way to consume dairy.
Today we're shopping for Beyond Organic Dairy. Dairy products have made up a foundation of our ancestors' diets dating back to biblical times. But what kind of dairy is biblically healthy? Number one, you want to consume whole milk. Whole milk is a whole food. Number two, you want to consume dairy in one of two ways, either fresh, raw, unpasteurized, which is very difficult to find but worth it, or cultured dairy in the form of yogurt, kefir, or the brand new cultured beverage, amasi. Traditionally inspired by the African Maasai tribe, amasi is highly digestible, comes from green-fed dairy, and has powerful probiotics. I believe that cultured dairy products from whole milk, whether it's cow, goat, or sheep, can be extremely healthy. Whole cultured dairy like amasi yogurt or kefir is loaded with calcium, healthy, easily digestible proteins, good fats, and CLA, conjugated linoleic acid, great for the immune system and for your waistline. I have my children consume at least a cup of cultured dairy every day to help them grow strong. When I started Beyond Organic, I made a commitment to help produce the world's healthiest foods and beverages, cutting no corners, uncompromising, vertically integrated, having a hand in every aspect of the supply chain, that take tips from the ancient biblical past, combining with modern science to bring foods and beverages that can be consumed by so many, delivering delicious and healthy foods from our farm to your family. The Beyond Organic message is comprised of three parts. We want to help people everywhere change their diet, change their lives, and change their world. It is so critical to consume the world's healthiest foods and beverages, free from chemicals and toxins, knowing where your food comes from, and understanding our connection and stewardship of God's green earth. It's also critical to become educated, to learn about making the proper choices to provide a healthy life for you and your family. If we don't leave this earth better than when we entered it, we've accomplished nothing. And at Beyond Organic, it is so important for us to follow God's mandate found in James 1:27, to feed orphans and care for widows and provide for those who can't provide for themselves. And as we walk through the virtual farmers market at Beyond Organic, we'll find foods and beverages that simply are not available at local health food or grocery stores. Taking information and secrets from thousands of years of biblical history and bringing them to you in a form that you can consume each and every day. And you know that what you are eating and feeding your family is the very best you can get. Instead of sharing profits with health food stores, we decided to share with those that shared our message most. People that have been championing the message of natural health for years, if not decades, who now have the opportunity not only to bring foods and beverages that can be consumed by so many that desperately need these nutrients, but be able to somehow get their foods and beverages for free, or even earn some income to offset some of the deficiencies that this economy has created. We at Beyond Organic are not measuring success by the amount of food we ship, by the amount of dollars people get in their pockets, but by the amount of lives that are changed. This mission marketing program allows individuals who are just as passionate as I am about transforming the health of this nation and world one life at a time to be on board with me. After all, Beyond Organic is not my mission. It's our mission.
Everyone eats. Everyone buys groceries. In fact, Americans spend billions of dollars on food every year. The modern food industry is growing at a cost to our farmers, to our health, to our environment. Something needs to change. Okay, a lot needs to change. But let's start with your diet. What if you only ate wholesome, farm-fresh foods? Trading out your conventional products for foods that come straight from the farm can contribute to a healthier life. Not to mention the lasting impact it would have on our agriculture and our environment. One change in your diet can change your life and even your world. That's the vision of Beyond Organic. Beyond Organic is a virtual farmers market providing you with the highest quality organic food staples. But instead of going through a middleman, Beyond Organic brings these pure, wholesome foods and beverages directly to you, straight from the farm to your front door, making an organic, sustainable lifestyle more accessible and convenient than ever. As the name implies, these foods and beverages aren't just organic, they're, well, beyond. Beyond Organic foods are grown as God intended. No pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, chemical fertilizers, or other environmental pollutants. And of course, they're not genetically modified. Beyond Organic foods are fair made, meaning your local farmer gets a fair cut of the deal. Beyond Organic meat and dairy comes from grain-fed cattle, and our certified organic farms and ranches never feed grain or administer antibiotics, hormones, or vaccines, and they use biblical slaughter methods. Beyond Organic values old-world production methods that result in slow-crafted, artisan, healthy, and of course, delicious foods. These guiding principles of Beyond Organic have played a pivotal role in the life of company founder and CEO Jordan Rubin. His life was saved when he discovered a healthier, more sustainable way to live 15 years ago. Since then, Jordan has written several best-selling books, developed health supplements, and coached thousands of people on the road to better health. Jordan Rubin is living proof that a change in diet can change your life. And with Beyond Organic, he's taking that message a step further. By combining the benefits of farm fresh food with the convenience of an online community, Beyond Organic can change your life too. When you subscribe to Beyond Organic, you'll be given access to a wealth of resources that will help you lead a healthier, more sustainable way of life, and even get compensated as you share the message of Beyond Organic. But it doesn't stop there. You can change your world by living Beyond Organic. Beyond Organic has partnered with charities that provide life-giving foods to people in need around the world. Once every month, Beyond Organic subscribers will have the chance to donate $10 to one of these charities. And for the donation you make, you will be rewarded with $10 of Beyond Organic foods in return. This is the Give a Meal, Get a Meal initiative, one of the many mission-oriented programs that will enable you to touch people's lives while you change your own. Bottom line, everyone eats, everyone drinks, everyone buys groceries. So why not transfer some of the grocery money you're already spending towards foods that contribute to a healthier diet, life, and world? With Beyond Organic, it's simple. You can become a Beyond Organic retail customer and purchase these healthy, sustainable food staples. Order online, any amount, anytime, and they'll be delivered right to your front door. Or you can become a Beyond Organic preferred customer. For a $19.95 annual subscription, you'll receive 20% off the retail price of all Beyond Organic products. Like most people, you probably buy many of the same groceries week after week. If that sounds like you, you can even choose to auto-ship a certain quota of food for 3 months or more, and your first-year subscription fee will be waived. Or you can become a Beyond Organic mission marketer. For as little as $39.95, you'll receive all the benefits of a preferred customer. Plus, you'll get a personalized online storefront to cultivate your own community of Beyond Organic subscribers. And better still, as a mission marketer, you can make a living by making a difference. How does it work? Well, organically, growing from one person to another, to another, to another. And as your community grows, you receive the benefit. As a mission marketer, you can supplement or even replace your income with weekly and monthly compensation. And as you grow your Beyond Organic community, the commissions and incentives grow with you, like the weekly bonus you receive whenever you add a mission marketer to your community, or the potential to receive all your Beyond Organic foods for free. There's also the one-of-a-kind Healthy Living account card, which could provide you and your family with ongoing monthly bonuses that can be applied toward discounted wellness programs like doctor visits, chiropractic care, nutritional supplements, or even a spa vacation. The goal is to provide you with a healthier, fuller life so you can help others do the same. And as a mission marketer, you won't be alone. You'll receive health training and community building support to help you grow with Beyond Organic. Imagine every time you sit down for dinner, instead of spending money, you could actually be making money and contributing to a better diet, a better life, and a better world. Beyond Organic is growing, and you can join as a retail customer simply looking for a convenient, sustainable way to change your diet with Beyond Organic's healthy foods and beverages, as a preferred customer with access to the same delicious foods at a discounted price, or as a mission marketer reaping the full benefits of the Beyond Organic community with the potential to change your life and your world by passing on the Beyond Organic message. So here's what you have to do. Choose retail customer, preferred customer, or mission marketer, and start changing your diet, changing your life, and changing your world with Beyond Organic.